Okay, it's Thursday, the 12th of December 2024, and I'm sitting here with Aub Gamble. His birthday on the 21st of December will make him 103. I've never met anyone 103. I've met people that are 100, but this is pretty special. Now, I've asked Aub to come to 28 Tennyson Street today to give me a bit of an interview and an insight into his life. I know we can't do it all at once, but I'm now going to start. I'm going to ask him sort of right back to his early days, when he grew up, and he can tell us about his early days. Over to you, Aub.
Okay, yeah. Well, early days, I was born in South Melbourne, or virtually born in South Melbourne, and I was there all my teenage days, right through the Depression and the state school education that I went through, which was very, very good.
Were your parents well off?
Eh?
Were your parents well off?
No.
So what did your father do?
Well, the father was a hairdresser and a tobacconist.
Okay, in South Melbourne.
But of course, through the Depression, nobody wanted their haircut. They couldn't spare the shilling for a haircut. But there was a few businessmen he used to get in, but it didn't give him very much income.
Okay, did your mum work?
No,
Okay.
no women worked at that.
Yeah. So,
that period.
how big was your house?
We had a 12-foot frontage.
One of those smaller ones. Yeah. Yeah. And you rent that or own it?
I think it was 3 or 4 rooms.
Did he rent it or own it?
Eh?
Did your father own it?
He never owned a place until we moved to Middle Park in after the war.
So why did he end up in South Melbourne?
Well, his father had the pub next door, which was the Main Point Hotel many years ago. It's a heritage building now, and the father's shop was next door.
Okay.
And that was he was brought up in South Melbourne.
So how many brothers did your father have?
My father had 2 brothers, and he was the one in the middle. The younger one died at a comparatively early age because he was a spray painter.
Right.
And,
no rules, no protection.
No protection hardly at all.
Okay. And so your father, how old your father last?
Dad was born 1898.
Yeah, and he lasted till how old?
I was born 1921. So there was 23 years before him.
How old was your father though when he died?
Off the bat now, I could have told you.
That's okay. Was he in his 80s or?
No, the memory. He was in his 70s.
Okay.
I think he was about 74.
Okay. And how old were you then?
Hmm?
How old were you when he died?
I would have been.
Young bloke at school? Were you at school?
In 1972. Oh no, when he died, he was a fair age. He was, as I say, he was 72.
Okay.
So when he died, I was well and truly at work and everything. Work.
And were you married then?
What?
Were you married then?
I got married in after the war, 1949.
Okay. So you talk about the war. Did you have a terrible feeling during the war? Was it a terrible time?
It was a bad time, but I joined the Air Force, passed all the tests and everything, and I went back to the workshop, and the boss was walking past the door as I walked in. He said, "Where were you this morning?" I said, "Well, I didn't feel too good." He said, "You can forget that Air Force bullshit. manpower's decreed that you won't be leaving. I can't sack anybody. So, once you're in a place, virtually manpower becomes your employer.
Okay, so what was the job?
I was a bit of everything in that place because they didn't. While I worked in the machine shop, the unions were very weak, and they had no chance of going crook when they took you out of your workshop and told you to do other work, and they could tell you to do process work or anything. Which I did
during the war.
Yeah.
But what were you making? What were you making?
I was making dry cells.
Dry batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Now that sounds a bit funny to keep you out of joining the force, but we were making 120 volt batteries for the American Air Force when the Yanks came into it. We were making what they called buzzer cells. A buzzer cell was the size of a cylinder cake, sort of on its end. It was about 8 inches tall and about 2.5 inches in diameter. And the signallers, all the army signallers used those. It was all the equipment that was required for communication by the forces was fed by these very heavy duty battery cells, because they lasted for a long time for a start.
And so they were full of lead? You dealt with lead? Batteries had lead in them?
No, zinc.
Zinc, okay.
The outside was virtually pure zinc plate.
And were you on the production line, or?
Everybody's on a production line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even in the machine shop, you were turning out things that were for terminals and all sorts of stuff for the finished batteries.
And so when you were you under pressure to do as many as you could? Were you working 24/7 and
yes,
a desperate war effort?
You're on a sort of there was no bonus system with us, but there was with the blokes that make the cans that the chemical cell goes inside.
Why did they get why was that?
Well, they needed the production, and we never got anything other than the ordinary wages, and they were very poor.
So what were your working hours? What were your working hours? Working hours.
Hours?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you started before 8 o'clock, 7:45 in the morning, and knocked off at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah? 4 days, 5 days a week, or 6?
4 days a week. Friday, we knocked off at 5 o'clock.
And what happened then?
Then they come back Saturday morning, and you had to work Saturday morning as well.
And you go, when you knocked off Friday night, you go for a drink?
No.
So what did you do?
Well, I was fairly young initially. When I first went there, I was 17. And when I was about 18, 19, the war broke out. So
what was that?
I went and joined the Air Force.
What was the feeling like when the war broke out? What did you feel? Didn't understand
in this
it?
country, you didn't feel very much at all. You were too far away from it. You could read the papers, but they didn't mean a great deal to younger people. Probably did to the older people that had understood what
World War One.
First World War One was all about.
And were people had a feeling they had to go in the army or go in the Air Force?
Yeah.
You had that feeling?
Yeah.
You had
Yeah. I thought, well, I've got to join the service. I always wanted to fly, so I'll go for. But then when I got there, they told me that if you've got a leaving certificate, it'll be all right with the mathematics side of things. And I thought, oh, geez, yeah, I got merit certificate only. I didn't even get intermediate, let alone leaving. And so I went through all the physical tests and got through them, flew through those all right. And all the other tests and everything. Then came the mathematical test. And I didn't know what they were going to put down in front of me, but it was all mental arithmetic. They wanted quick decisions. So he said, right, mathematics, tell me, what is a quarter of 2 1/4? I said, 9/16. And he said, by the way, you were sitting in front of a table with about 6 boffins around there, all with their own classification. One was mathematics, one was geology, and God knows what else. And some of the questions they asked me, I thought they're bloody ridiculous. But they'd be asking me about my family and all sorts of stuff.
In a job interview, in an interview situation.
Yeah. In the interview but unless you answered all those questions satisfactorily, you didn't get into aircrew.
Tell me, did you have many mates go to the war?
Any
mates go to the war?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Early days before manpower came into it. As soon as war broke out, some of them left straight away.
They come back?
No. Not that I know of. I know that some that I did know never came back at all.
So,
one was in the Air Force too, by the way.
So the war finished in 1945?
Yep.
Yeah. And did you have big celebrations?
Oh, not at work, but outside, yes. Yeah, my word. See, one of the things I used to do to keep fit, work was 13 hours a day, you know, and so at least one night a week, I'd leave work 9 o'clock and jump on my motorbike, go roller skating. I'd roller skate there and maybe take a girl home and...
on the back of the motorbike?
No, of course.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What were they like? Good birds? They good birds?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, the girls were very good. When I look back at it, they were very versatile. And the way that they skated was pretty good. They, particularly the girls that could spin, there was only a handful of them, but they could have been world champions.
So then you met your wife?
Yes, I met my wife later on. She was a dancer.
Wasn't a roller skater?
Eh?
She wasn't a roller skater?
Yeah, she was after. She came roller skating. She wanted to have a go at it. Her sister used to skate. And that's how I come to know her, actually.
Can you
I took her skating.
Can you remember your first date?
She was all right.
Can you remember your first date?
Eh?
Can you remember your first date when you took her out?
First date?
Yeah, when you took her out?
Yes, I think I can.
Where'd you take her to?
Took her to a movie show.
Okay. What was the movie?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that.
And
although I tell you one that I know that she came to with me, and she would have been about 18, I suppose. And so it was pretty early in our association. And it was Alexander's Ragtime Band.
Yeah.
And they brought it out especially to open the Park Theatre in Albert Park. And so it was a brand new theatre. So from there on, every Saturday night, we would go to the Park Theatre.
And how would you get there? On a motorbike or on a tram? Did she live near you?
I wouldn't have been a motorbike, I don't think, because you'd have to park it out the front, and it was a 500 over in Norton, in heavy demand, beautiful bike. But anyway.
So anyway, you took her. How long did you take your wife out before you married her?
Oh, went together for a long while because I had no money, and she was working, naturally, a single girl. But when we got married, 12 months later, we had a youngster.
So what date did you get married?
Eh?
What date did you get married?
What days? We got married in 1949, 22nd of January, I think it was.
Yeah.
In 1949.
And were your parents alive then?
Mm-hmm.
Was your mother alive
yeah.
then? Yeah.
Yeah, all the family at home were all alive at that time.
And where'd you go for your honeymoon?
That was good. We went to Rosebud on the motorbike with a case with all our clothes and everything on the tank of the motorbike.
Yeah.
When I tell people that, they say, you're joking, aren't you?
So where would you go to Rosebud? Where would you stay in Rosebud?
Rosebud was Kangaroo Flats was the name of it. But from Rosebud, we used to do trips on the bike, and we went up to the Lookout, up
Red Hill.
Yeah, that was before the trampoline that I called it, the Sky.
The cable car.
Yeah, the cable car.
So how long was your honeymoon?
Mm-hmm.
How long was your honeymoon?
About a week, 10 days, that's all.
Okay. And where did you work then? In the same place?
At that time, that's about the time that I left. She knew me when I was at Diamond Batteries, and then she also knew me before we got married when I was working at the textile engineering place where I could get back to my old machine shop trade.
So how long then did you work in that job?
8 years.
And then you moved out more into sales?
Yeah, that's right. I left manufacturing because I was getting, to my mind, a little bit long in the tooth. And I thought, well, I don't want to keep on doing this all the rest of my life. Not only was it dirty and
noisy. Noisy.
No, oh yeah, plenty of noise,
no protections in those days. Yeah.
Hard work.
And where was that located?
That was at Horsecrofts.
Yeah, but where? What suburb?
In Rowan.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's a place I noticed just the other day. Something about Horsecroft Lane. Well, once Horsecroft moved, that's where Harvey Norman, and that is in South Road. Well, that used to be Horsecroft's, and they made laundry equipment for hotels and hospitals. Not ordinary little washing machines. These are massive, great washing machines and presses, steam presses. So all our work had to be steam fits. And there was one or two jobs that I had to do on my machine, my lathe, working to a tolerance of 5/10 of a thousandth of an inch. And that's pretty fine tolerance for In fact, when I went there, he said, that's our tolerance. I said, that's a grinding tolerance. That's not a turning tolerance. And he said, well, there's the machine. That's the tolerance. Do it. But it was a good mob to work for. They were all right. And,
How many years were you there?
I was only there a comparatively short time because from there I went to selling.
On the road? On
yeah,
the road?
yeah.
With a company car or your own car?
Eventually, it was a company car first.
Okay, now tell us about your career in selling.
Oh, in sales. Well, I like meeting, always like meeting people, and so I'd go into organisations and say, I'm so and so, and I believe that we can give you service on some of the goods that you supply at a competitive price, and all delivered without charge. And so.
And what were the products? What
Products, anything that up to bench drills, grinders, all sorts of machines, but then all the parts that go with them, the drills and taps, reamers, what they call small tools. Well, small tools covered a vast range, but of drills and taps, where you drill the hole, you tap the hole, and you can put a bolt in it.
So that needed you to travel all around Victoria?
I went to not immediately. I travelled around Victoria virtually for the textile engineering place, because we designed and patented a particular special bearing that would go on these machines that have been used right through the war in textiles without stopping. The machines of the spinning machines and wooling, weaving machines, all of the textile industry was making army blankets, army uniforms, service, same with Air Force, Navy, all the services were using stuff that the textile industry was making, and they would be working on shift work. They'd have 3 shifts. They'd start 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 8 hours later, another shift would come on, and the machines never stopped. They just kept going all the time, and one shift would take over, but the machines kept on going right through.
So how long did you do this travelling salesman job for?
Well, actually I was doing more fitting and everything, but I was the sales bloke on the spot.
Senior sales guy? Senior sales guy or the
I was
only?
in charge of our small group of fellas.
And who would have owned that company at that stage? Would a private person or a...
It was a private firm.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was... memory's gone. God.
So it went out of business? Went out of change or got taken over?
No, I left them. I left them to go get a job closer to home. When I first went there, they were in the city, and I was at Middle Park. And then I got married and go down to McKinnon first of all. Uh,
What, to live?
And
To live?
well, I was there for a year. We got a year's lease on a place, which they assured me would be renewed, and but it wasn't. So I had to shift from there, and I went back to my parents' place in Middle Park. But they'd gone out. In the meantime, they'd gone out to Airport West. So I did it like that for about 18 months, and then the travel got to me. I could. It was a beast trying to get through traffic, even on a motorbike, and you'd had to take public transport, which was a horror.
Yeah.
To get out there from Middle Park, you'd catch the train, and go to the city, catch a tram, and go to the terminus and walk a quarter of a mile to go to.
Were jobs hard to get then? Were jobs hard to get?
No, jobs were comparatively easy to get.
So you didn't.
But I was in a job where, when I was involved in the inventing part of this bearing setup, and there was a couple of other items that we were actually making that were different to other people's. We didn't patent them, but we patented the textile bearing because there was big volume involved in that.
So you finished there, and then when did you go?
When I finished there, I got a job at Horsecroft's, which was down in Moorabbin. So I was doing machining work the same, but down in Moorabbin, and I was living in Hyatt, so it was almost next door by comparison. So and I worked there for about 18 months, and that's when I decided that I'd go for selling the stuff that I was using. All the tools that I was using, machines I was using, I would be going out fully aware of all the
how to use them and all that.
Well, and people in the factories appreciated. They hated salesmen that walked in with collar and tie, straight out of school, and knew virtually nothing about tools, only what they read out of books. And so they couldn't talk on practical experience. And it got so that I'd walk in, they'd say, "There's a drawing there, what do I need? What sort of tools do I need for that?" You know? And I say, "Well, you're going to need," so they say, "Look, there's the order book, write it down and I'll sign it." So that's the way that the trust came after a fair amount of time. But it got so that people learned to trust me, and I told them, I'm not there to sell you stuff, I'm to help you buy it. And that attitude went right through for all of my sales life.
So then how long did you have there?
Beg pardon?
How long were you there for?
Industrial hardware, I was there for 27 years.
Bloody hell, yeah. Did it finally close up?
Yeah, they had when we had a recession, they had cash flow problems. The receivers walked in.
International markets coming in, people, was this stuff from Japanese coming in and Chinese coming in?
Yeah, but that wasn't the reason then.
Okay. Mismanagement.
The reason was the car industry being tailed off.
Who were you providing parts to? Which
I was
company?
we were supplying parts, precision measuring gear and all sorts of stuff to engineers and toolmakers
Okay.
that were...
For the car manufacturers?
Eh?
For the car
For
manufacturers?
the car manufacturing, mainly. Yeah, they make the dies and all the rest of it. The real background stuff.
Okay, so after 27 years, how old were you?
Good question.
Because, you know, what were you 60 or 60?
Let's see, I left on my... '63rd birthday. That's right. I had two years to go for my superannuation.
Really?
That's a story all to itself. I had 2 years to go when the receivers walked in. They give me the sack on my birthday, and so I would have been 62.
And so you went home to your wife and you said, I've been sacked.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And so how did you feel about that?
Felt shocking.
Yeah. Because you wouldn't have had much money then either, would you?
Well, it was virtually the first time I'd ever been sacked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't by the employer, it was by the receiver.
Yeah, well, that's not being sacked, really. That's being closed down. So then you said to her, okay, what am I going to do now?
Huh?
What
Yeah. Well, I did. I thought, well, real estate is starting to fly. I think it'll be a good one to get involved in. But it was right on Christmas. So on my birthday, 21st of December, so it was...
There'd be no retrenchment money or anything like that? No retrenchment money?
No.
Did you get any long service leave? Long service leave?
Well, they robbed you of everything that they could...
Not give you.
Came into. Yeah. Everything you were entitled to, they cut back.
Yeah.
And the worst was superannuation. I was superannuated there for 26 years of the 27, and of course at 62, I was only 3 years off retirement, and the AMP. I spit when I say their name. It's a dirty word. After 27 years of paying the full amount that I was allowed to pay, the percentage of your wages, and halfway through, the company was, instead of giving me a rise, would increase the superannuation. And anyway, at the end of the period, they sent me my superannuation, $20,000 for 27 years, and they were they said, if you see that when they sold the policy, they said that at this time that'll be £187, not dollars, pounds, plus all the interest that you get, the bonuses every year.
And did you have a mortgage then, a house mortgage?
Oh yeah, everybody had a mortgage.
Yeah.
You were in fashion.
Yeah.
But
and your wife didn't work?
She did odd jobs at home, that's all.
Yeah. So, and your kids...
She didn't go out to work, no.
No, your kids had left home then?
With 6 kids,
and
eventually.
The kids had left home?
There was always kids, eh?
The kids had left home by then or not?
I know. No, the kids were all home.
Okay.
All at school.
Yeah, yeah. So, a bit of a desperate feeling.
Shocking. Not very good at all. So all I could do was get part-time jobs other than the job I had. And I was fortunate in a way that when the engineering supply place shut down, one of their competitors that reckoned that I could boost their turnover, so I went there and I topped their sales virtually straight away because I was calling on the same people for a different company. That was all.
We might have a rest here, and then we've been going 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So have a bit of a rest, because I want to talk about your golf and your sporting as a separate item too. Okay?
Yep.